to be last season.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to Tufts Gymnasium on the campus of Tufts University for tonight's non-conference game between the Jumbos and the Emmanuel College Saints. Ladies and gentlemen, earlier today, Tufts University head coach Carla Berube was named the co-recipient of the 2017 USA Basketball Developmental Coach of the Year Award. Last June, gold medal at the 2017 FIBA, America's U16 championship. In Buenos Aires, Argentina, he was using the 5-foot opponents in the tournament, averaging 53.8 points per game. Tonight, Tufts University recognizes outstanding coaching achievements. Here to present the USA Basketball Developmental Coach of the Year Award, Coach Carla Berube, and Chair of Tufts Athletic Board Advisors Ken Todd, and Director of Athletics John Morris. Congratulations, Coach Berube.
But nevertheless, it's a strong side in the Jumbos team, but once again is perhaps favored. They're number 2 in the polls right now, behind our rivals.
Fans, this time we ask that you please rise and root your caps and direct your attention to the flag as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
I saw that they were the Mammoths. I was...
And now we have the starters for tonight's contest. First for the visitors from Emmanuel. We begin with a sophomore from South Boston, Massachusetts, number 1, Alaska Ramirez Tejeda. A senior guard from North Maryland, number 3, Ryan Maynard. A junior guard from Westerly, Rhode Island, number 23, Madison McLaughlin. Sophomore guard from West Haven, Connecticut, number 24, Kayla Weaver. And a junior center from Citrus, Massachusetts, number 33, Mary McCarthy. The head coach is in the Austin office, this by Arthur Powell, and Kerwin Plazi, Chelsea
takes 1 point per game. Also up there with 5 points, rebounds, and 1.3 blocks per game, leading the team. Meanwhile, here's the Tufts Jumbos. You're undefeated 8-0 Tufts Jumbos.
A senior forward from Somerville, Massachusetts, number 33, Melissa Baptista. And a sophomore guard forward from North Wales, Pennsylvania, number 44, Erica Ianino. The head coach is Carla Berube, assisted by Keith Barnowski.
Season so far, 14.5 points per game leads the team, trailed by Baptista with 11.8. This is a
of the sophomores tonight. Both teams have sophomores who are leading scorers. Ramirez Tejada for the Saints and Erica DiCandido, as you said, for the Jumbos. So it should be an interesting matchup to see which sophomore, which underclassmen will step up and lead their teams to victory.
Yeah, and adding to that narrative is the fact that both of those sophomores, DiCandido for the Jumbos and Ramirez Tejada, both set career highs in scoring this weekend. Ramirez Tejada posted a double-double, 23 points, 10 rebounds over in the win over Simmons College on this Saturday afternoon. Meanwhile, Saturday for Tufts over UNE, Erica DiCandido tied her career high with 19 points scored. So both of them looking to recreate those highs of 2 days ago here on the court. But unfortunately, there can only be one winner, and we'll have to play 40 minutes to see who that winner will be. So as we get ready for the tip-off, it's going to unsurprisingly, or actually perhaps surprisingly, the short player, Ramirez Tejada, taking the tip-off against Baptista. Mary McCarthy, the center, you would think would take this, but instead it's taken and it winds up in her hands anyway. And it's now in the hands of Kayla Weaver. Weaver gets it back. Guarded by Dillon. McLaughlin plays that, intended for Ramirez Tejada. Ramirez Tejada takes the shot, and that's off the mark to start. So now the Jumbos' first possession of the game, and it's Lauren Dillon.
And we'll see if the Jumbos can settle in with a consistent offense. They're normally pretty good from behind that three-point line. We'll see if they can settle in tonight and find that.
And it's not from behind the three-point line, it's from right under the basket that Erica DiCandido scores first 2 points of the game for the Jumbos. And now it's back with Kayla Weaver. She plays that one over to McLaughlin. Played forward, McCarthy. Towering over Dillon, but unable to get the shot to go, and it's collected by number 4, Jenny Mucciaroni. Mucciaroni gives it out to Jack Knapp. Knapp under the basket, and dishes that one in.
Nice little layup from Jackie Knapp there.
Here's Madison McLaughlin, and her pass to Ramirez Tejada is off the mark, and it'll go out for a Jumbos inbound. And we're going to see an early timeout taken by the Saints and their 40th year head coach, I believe, Andy Yosinov. Yosinov is one of the most distinguished coaches in Division III, and even more so in the New England area. He was coach of the first team to ever be ranked both in the top 5 nationally and in the top 5 of New England. And he has brought this Emmanuel team, perhaps leaner times now, in a more competitive Division III setup dominated by the NESCAC in the New England region, but nevertheless, his teams have continued to be competitive in the GNAC conference.
Absolutely. And Yosinov definitely wanted to talk to his team a little bit about their defense, maybe playing a little bit tighter, trying to get a couple stops.
We're going to see if that team talk has any impact on this Jumbo's offensive possession. Mucciaroni plays it over to Knapp, dishes it out to DiCandido from 3. And DiCandido gets that one to go. 5 points. An early 5 points for Erica DiCandido here. Now here's Ryan Maynard. She'll give that one over to Weaver. Weaver passes that up to the center, McCarthy. Back to McCarthy, guarded by Baptista. And gets tangled up in Baptista's arms, but it'll go out and stay with the Saints.
And McCarthy is the tallest one on the court right now. The Jumbo's tallest player is actually 6'1". I think Melissa Baptista
is second highest with 6 foot. That's Katie Martinson, the backup for Baptista, who's the tallest Jumbo. But if Baptista keeps playing defense like that, they won't need Martinson much. Mucciaroni gives it out to DiCandido, looks for a 3, fakes it in the end, moves in a little. Now it's Baptista from range, and nothing but net for Melissa Baptista. 3 points for her, and a 10-0 run to start the game for the Tufts Jumbos. Yosinov's little team talk not working wonders here. It's 2 threes have put the Jumbos healthily out in front right at the birth of this game.
Absolutely, and the Jumbos are playing pretty good defense right now. Saints having a hard time finding a way in towards the basket.
Yeah, and defense lapsed a little there from Jack Knapp. That's a foul on her against Madison McLaughlin, the junior from Westerly, Rhode Island. Back again with Weaver. Here's Ramirez Tejada. She tries a sort of sidearm hook shot. Nothing doing on that, and now it's with Jenny Mucciaroni. Mucciaroni driving to the paint. And that's off the mark, but collected by DiCandido.
And a nice offensive rebound from DeCandido, following that ball in with...
And speaking of follow-up, that's Melissa Baptista cleaning up after Erica DeCandido misses her first shot of the game. Third shot total, so maybe cooling off a little there. And that's lost by Kayla Weaver and collected by Jack Knapp. Mucciaroni now out to Baptista. She'll take a mid-range jumper, and that'll be a little too long. She collects her own rebound in the end of it. Nice play forward for Mucciaroni and a nice layup to give the Jumbos another 2 points.
Heads-up play from DeCandido as well to find Mucciaroni on that run. Weaver. She'll give it out to Maynard. Maynard driving. Dylan can't get a hand there, and that's the first points of the game for the Saints. A 14-2 run now for the Jumbos. I'm going to try and add to that now. Jack Knapp taking the ball forward in her junior year now, getting increased playing time with the departure of Josie Lee, who graduated last year, among other notable seniors for the Jumbos. Erica DeCandido also getting her opportunity now. Absolutely. And I think that DeCandido and a couple of the other sophomores have done a really fantastic job of filling that big senior gap.
Here's Knapp now. A nice interception from her. Plays it out to Dylan. Dylan from range. And that clangs off the outside of the rim, but collected by Baptista. She can't quite put it away on the first opportunity, but gets it on the second and gets fouled in the process. So we'll see her go to the line for a three-point play.
Foul was called on Emmanuel's number 3.
Melissa Baptista shooting 71.4% from the free throw line.
Christine Miller in for the Saints.
Miller has replaced Ryan Maynard. Here's Madison McLaughlin. Miller now. Also in the game is number 2, Alicia Fox. She's replaced Kayla Weaver. Excuse me. She's replaced Mary McCarthy. That goes out of bounds off of Dylan. Ref's just going to take a moment to perhaps clear something up here with the scoring table. It's all straightened out now. Score is 16-2. I think it might have been a scoring issue. Substitution for the Jumbos as Mucciaroni exits the game to be replaced by number, I believe, 24, Katie Butler. Excuse me, no, 22, Emily Briggs.
And Briggs from Canton, Connecticut, a freshman at 5'11".
She's with the ball now. She plays it out to Knapp. Knapp almost lets it get away from her, but reins it in. Halfway through this first quarter, and the Jumbos are dominant. Erica DeCandido. And that's a misplay. A little freshman nerves there from Emily Briggs. And it'll go out for the Saints.
See
another substitution coming off is Kayla Weaver. She's going to be replaced by number 11, Olivia Dalphonse, the guard from Buxton, Maine. Has the ball now, gives it over to another substitute, Alicia Fox. Fox is guarded by Miller. Or excuse me, guarded by Briggs. And we see a foul called there. And to see who that's against. Looks like it's called against Melissa Baptista. Little untoward contact there. That's her first foul, Jumbo's second total foul. Playing this inbound is Madison McLaughlin. She'll give that out to Fox. Double teamed, and that ball is going to go off of Fox. Nice intervention by Lauren Dillon to cause that turnover.
And Dillon, one of the things about Lauren Dillon is that she is so vigilant, both on defense and on offense, and she might not have the greatest stats on the team, but she is a huge factor in the Jumbo's game. She plays with a lot of heart, and she also has a very large IQ. No, that sounded weird. A very good IQ, basketball IQ, and is able to see the game and make good choices.
And a good choice there. Goes unconverted by DeCandido. A nice pass from Lauren Dillon, but DeCandido's shot is not on target. Ball back with the Saints now. Nice play there by Christine Miller, but even better defense from Melissa Baptista. Gets it back with the Jumbos. Long pass out to Briggs. DeCandido. Back to Briggs. Briggs makes a move on Ramirez Tejeda, but her shot is leaves a lot to be desired, and so does the second one. Little scrum results in Jack Knapp seizing back control for the Jumbos.
And so far, the Jumbos have done a very good job of rebounding the shots that haven't gone in, which has been a big factor in their 14-point lead.
That's a mid-range swish from Briggs there. Her first points of the game, and the Jumbos 18th. And it's back with Olivia D'Alphonse. Saints preparing another substitution. That ball goes out of bounds off of the Jumbos. We're going to see a change for both teams now. Here's number 32, Katie Martinson, her of 6'1" fame. 33, Caitlin Cipriano, the sophomore from Waterbury, Connecticut, comes into the game for the Saints. She's replacing number 1, Yuleska Ramirez Tejeda. This is Alicia Fox now for Emmanuel, and it's intercepted by Erica DiCandido. 2-on-2 for the Jumbos now. Played forward to Knapp. Knapp to the layup. And that ball goes into the net. An easy fast break points for the Jumbos there. And they're past the 20-point mark, still in the first quarter.
Absolutely, and the Jumbos doing a very good job of executing the points that the opportunities that they get to convert 4 points.
And Martinson comes down with that one. Another fast break, this time a 2-on-1. DiCandido, she's going to take it herself. And another 2 points for the Jumbos. It's 22-2. A 22-2 run to open the game, and Yosinov is going to take another timeout here to try and diagnose what is going on with this team as he hemorrhages points in the first quarter.
Absolutely, and we saw him get a little animated earlier in the quarter, and we can expect to see him make some changes with this team. He already has been making some substitutions, but I wouldn't be shocked to see him make some major changes in the next few minutes of the game.
Yeah, he's tried personnel changes. We've seen basically an entire rotation of his team, but maybe it's a strategic thing that needs to be figured out in order to solve this dominating Jumbo's offense. Stampeding, if you will, Bridget.
Absolutely, and the Jumbos have been playing exceptional defense as well. They've been playing tight, and they haven't been letting obviously it's 22-20. The Jumbos have been doing a good job.
Not even 22-20, 22-2.
Sorry.
You flatter the Saints here.
Sorry, with a 20-point lead, the Jumbos have been doing a good job of stopping the Saints from converting.
And here's Olivia D'Alphonse. Doing a little quick quarterbacking, and Ryan Maynard's, shot is off the mark, and a jump ball called here. It'll be Jumbo's possession. A bunch of players jumped on it. Maynard wasn't able to get there, though, before the Jumbo's player.
And Kaylin Harrington, also in the game, a sophomore.
Here's Lauren Dillon. She'll give that over to Kaylin Harrington. Kaylin Harrington, the sophomore, braids Jack Knapp's hair before the game, or something along those lines of what I saw on the Fun Facts page. And here's Harrington now, and she's going to get called for a travel, so an unfortunate start to the game for her. It'll be Saints ball here, number 15. This is Ty Morrison, the freshman from Brown Summit, North Carolina. She'll give it over to her teammate, and it gets all the way around and into the hands of Caitlin Cipriano. And another jump ball here. This one's going to stay with the Saints by the look of it. Pretty firm hand on it at Ryan Maynard. So possession stays with Emmanuel. That's thrown out to Caitlin Armstrong, another substitution. We're seeing the full bench get some action here for the Saints on Monday night. And that's hurled up nowhere in particular by Morrison. Nothing doing there, but I think she was fouled. Yep, and that'll be a push called. And that's called on Lauren Dillon, her first foul of the game. Maynard plays that out to number 11, D'Alphonse. D'Alphonse guarded by her opposite number, Dillon, who almost breaks her ankles a little. While finding it out to Harrington. Cipriano to the basket. And interesting call there by the refs. Wasn't sure if D'Alphonse was the one, or excuse me, Morrison was the one who got the last hand on that. But he's going to stay with the Saints here and with D'Alphonse.
Both teams doing a good job of being patient here in this offensive stint for the Saints.
And that's going to go against the Saints there. So a little too much patience perhaps leads to a mistake and a Jumbo's ball. Still 22-2. We're at the dying embers of the first quarter. Dying embers that provide so much sorely needed warmth in a very cold day in Medford, Massachusetts.
Absolutely. We got our first snowfall the other day.
Driving is Briggs, and she'll get that one to go 24-2 now. Under a minute remaining in the first quarter.
And Briggs has been instrumental for the Jumbo's offense. She started all 8 of their games and is averaging 8 points per game. So she, as coming off the bench, she has been a spark for the Jumbos.
That's an important part of any team that has ambitions of a championship like this Tufts side. That's going to stick with the Saints now. Came off of Briggs last. We're going to see a substitution with Mucciaroni, replaces Jack Knapp. Also, Ramirez Tejeda is going to come back into this game to replace number 25, Caitlin Armstrong. So as the bench goes, the Boyertown, Pennsylvania native to be replaced by Uleska Ramirez Tejeda from South Boston, Massachusetts. That's thrown wide out from Morrison. And a little off the mark from Tejeda there. It's a little rusty coming off the bench, and another jump ball. A lot of floor action here, Bridget. Do you think it's one of your volleyball games?
Yeah, it does kind of resemble one of those for sure.
And it ends up with Tufts after that jump ball, so that's 2-1 if you're keeping track of those in favor of Tufts. And Lauren Dillon with the ball, 22 seconds. No shot clock. It's on, but it won't matter. She's going to just let this tick down and probably take one as time expires. Yosanov half on the court. A little half-man advantage for the Saints. There's a shot with 5 seconds left that goes for Briggs. So, and that'll be the end of the first quarter here. And at the end of the first quarter in Medford, the Tufts Jumbos, I would say lead, but that may not give enough credit to the Jumbos. It's 26-2. And Bridget, how do you come back from this?
Well, the Jumbos definitely dominated the first half. These Saints are going to need to make some major changes on defense. They seem to be struggling to keep the Jumbos manned up, if you will. And the Jumbos are getting they had a couple open shots from behind that three-point line in the beginning to give them a little bit of a cushy lead. And then they continued to execute when things got rough.
If you're the Jumbos, how do you avoid falling into a sort of complacency here? Because you're up by 24 points. You win games by smaller margins than that.
That's an excellent question. I think that the Jumbos are going to need to stay very vigilant on defense and continue to never be satisfied with the lead that they have. I think that's a big thing in all sports, but especially in something like basketball where there can be big swings in points and teams get momentum. So I think it's going to be really important for the Jumbos to continue to score and continue to do what they're doing right now, playing good defense, continuing to make shots that they're making right now. I think that the Saints are really struggling with what the Jumbos are throwing at them, and if they can continue to make adjustments as the Saints make adjustments, because they will, because they're a good team. So I think that the Jumbos need to continue to make adjustments as the Saints make adjustments, and we'll see how both teams.
If you're curious, it's a little early, but I'll just tell you the game on Saturday where the Jumbos scored 86, that's their high mark on the season. They're on pace for 104 here. So we'll see if that becomes the dominant thing that we're watching. But in the meantime, it's the Saints have something to say. That's played up to Cipriano. Cipriano turns, shoots, and she'll get that one to go. It's another bucket for the Saints. That's their second of the day. They're up to 4 points. And the deficit comes down. So perhaps the makings of a great comeback in the second quarter. And this will help as well. Almost a fast break, and that looks like it'll probably be a foul called against Ramirez Tejeda. A little too physical there. Looked like she shoved Jenny Mucciaroni a bit.
Foul is called by number 1, Ramirez Tejeda. That is her team first in the second quarter. Back in the game now.
Jack Knapp coming back in, replacing Lauren Dillon. Elisa Baptista re-entering as well. She'll replace. That's number. Come on. Just got to wait for her to turn. That's number 32, Katie Martinson. That's played up to the sophomore, Kaylin Harrington. Played forward for Mucciaroni, double teamed. Gets it out to Baptista. Started by Cipriano. And that's intercepted there by Harrington. Played forward for Maynard. She's got one of the 2 buckets on the day for the Saints, and that one's off of the fingers of Cipriano and into the fingers of her opposite number, Melissa Baptista. Still with it now. Looking to turn, shoots. Almost banks one in, but not quite for her. And played forward to Harrington. Harrington to the layup. But she's traveled, and meanwhile, Ramirez Tejeda looks to be holding her hamstring a little. No, she's fine. She'll play on. Erica DiCandido re-enters. She replaces Briggs for the Jumbos.
And Ramirez Tejeda trying to make some plays for the Saints. A couple times now in this second quarter, she has tried to make that fast break twice now and has not been successful yet, but she's making those plays. We'll see if she can get her team going.
Little wayward from DiCandido, who had 7 points in that first quarter. Here's Alicia Fox. Harrington. Played forward. Ramirez Tejeda. And a foul's going to be called there against the Jumbos. That was Jenny Mucciaroni on the guard.
Foul's called on Tufts number 4. That's Jenny Mucciaroni. That is her team first of the second quarter.
And we'll see Yaleska Ramirez Tejeda go to the line. She's averaging 16.4 points per game. From the free throw line, though, she's only 58.8%. But she makes the first one there, and she'll shoot a second. 26-5 now.
Jenny Mucciaroni actually looked for a little bit of clarification from Coach Berube on that play.
As Ramirez Tejeda goes 2 for 2. Yeah, it looked a little soft, perhaps. Not much movement on Mucciaroni's part, but the ref saw something we didn't up here. Balls with Jack Knapp now. It's a preview of what will happen next year once Lauren Dillon graduates. Knapp reverting to that playmaking role. There's Mucciaroni. She's scoring. A bucket for her. It's her first points of the game. Harrington. Nice defense from Melissa Baptista. And a foul called in her favor. So the Jumbos will seize possession after nice defense from her. Baptista is one of the stronger defensive players on this team, leads the team healthily with 1.5 blocks per game, and also has 1.3 skills per game to go with that. Going to see a bunch of substitutions here. Number 43, Mary McCarthy re-enters, replacing Cipriano. Meanwhile, Harrington steps off the court, as does Alicia Fox. Back on is Madison McLaughlin, as well as number 24, Kayla Weaver. So return to the starting 5 here for the Saints. Didn't work out well the first time. We'll see how the second time goes, that they're all together.
Absolutely, and the Saints have done a good job in the first half of the second quarter with limiting Jumbo offense. We'll see if they can continue that trend.
Baptista. She'll try the jumper, off the mark, but DiCandido's there. Offensive rebounds continue to be a Jumbo strength in this game. From 3 is Kaylin Harrington, and she airballs that heavily. Collected by Ramirez Tejeda, played forward, Madison McLaughlin for 2 points.
Madison McLaughlin for 2.
And a nice little break there for the Saints.
More like it from them. They're still down 20, though. Only 18.2% from the field so far for the Saints. Is a travel called on Knapp. She thinks that she pivoted. Ref thinks otherwise, and it'll be Saints ball. Lauren Dillon going to re-enter now, replacing Kaylin Harrington. Big story, if you look at the rebounds, Bridget, 7 offensive rebounds and 7 defensive rebounds for the Jumbos compared to 7 rebounds total for the Saints.
Absolutely, and you can tell that that's made a big difference for the Jumbos on defense.
Speculative bounce pass from McCarthy is intercepted by the Jumbos, and it's Mucciaroni again. That's going to be a foul on McCarthy. She got her arm in there and just impeded Mucciaroni a bit too much.
Fouls called on Angels number 43.
I think one of the biggest successes that the Jumbos defense has seen tonight so far is being able to see the routes that the Saints are running and be able to intercept those passes before they happen.
Mucciaroni misses that one. She'll get a second attempt. Shooting 62.5% from the line. But she misses both there. Rebound by DiCandido, though. And another second chance point for the Jumbos and another point for Erica DiCandido. That's 10 second chance points for the Jumbos there. And nice defense there from Lauren Dillon, reeling back, still got her hand in there to deny Weaver. Substitution coming for the Saints. You see that now. That's coming into the game. Again is Alicia Fox. She's replacing Ramirez Tejeda. Fox, a senior from National Park, New Jersey. She takes that shot, but it's deflected and collected by Mucciaroni. Fouled there by Weaver. Jumbo's ball. 30-8. Charlie Driver with Bridget Bell here. Another exciting Monday night basketball action for Tufts University Jumbos. Brought to you by JumboCast. We also have a men's game tomorrow if you're interested. That'll also be a fun one.
I have to say, though, I may be a little biased because I, too, am a woman, but women's basketball happens to be arguably my favorite Tufts University sport.
And if you're looking for a good team to support for Tufts University, you can't go wrong with the women's basketball team, as we were mentioning earlier. 4 straight Final Fours, 2 straight finals. Lauren Dillon with 1 straight free throw there.
Number 11, Lauren Dillon.
She's shooting 81% from the line.
As Weaver comes off for the Saints to be replaced by Olivia Dalphonse, junior, Buxton, Maine. Lauren Dillon from Wellesley, Mass. Only gets 1 of 2 there, but Melissa Baptista steals it from Mary McCarthy, but her pass is intercepted then by Alicia Fox. Turnover to turnover leads it to a Saints ball, and McCarthy now at the paint shoots and scores. Mary McCarthy for 2.
Mary McCarthy for 2.
And McCarthy's height helping there in the paint against Erica DiCandido.
Jack Knapp double teamed, gets it out almost to Mucciaroni, but it's taken away by Madison McLaughlin. Long pass forward for Fox. Dillon almost gets a finger to it, but it doesn't matter in the end because Fox's shot is not on basket. Meanwhile, Jackie Knapp gets that layup to go. Looked a little touch and go there, but it rolls in for 2, and the Jumbos are up to 33 points. Meanwhile, the Saints have achieved double digits, and they've managed to cut down their deficit so far, but Mary McCarthy now, she'll do it a little more. Another 2 points for her. She's on a nice little run. That's her second straight basket. Lauren Dillon, 5 minutes remaining in the first half. Shot, and that's a 3. Jenny Mucciaroni.
Jenny Mucciaroni.
Big basket for her. She's been scoring well, now up to 7 points for the game. Nice work by Dillon staying inbounds there. Fast pace, Bridget, isn't it?
Absolutely. Hard to keep up with.
And that's a 3 from Melissa Baptista. She's short. Alicia Fox now, guarded by Jack Knapp, evades her and gets the ball in the basket.
And the Saints finding some success with those quick counterattacks on the Jumbo defense. Finding the one-on-ones, being able to beat whoever it is, Lauren Dillon, Jackie Knapp back.
Erica DiCandido, excuse me. Lauren Dillon collects it after a little tussle between Mucciaroni and Fox, and that's a wide open Melissa Baptista. One of her easier points of the game there.
And there we saw, like we were kind of at the beginning of this game, the Saints defense break down a little bit, and the Jumbos find easy success close to the basket.
That's going to be, by the looks of it, a charge against the Saints. Or excuse me, actually, that foul's going to be on Lauren Dillon. A few changes. Briggs comes in to replace Baptista. Meanwhile, number 10, Kaylin Harrington, comes into this game to replace Jenny Mucciaroni. We'll also see Katie Martinson replacing Lauren Dillon. And number 25 for the Saints, that is Caitlin Armstrong, replacing Madison McLaughlin. Saints ball. Armstrong plays it out to Maynard. Maynard to Fox now, 3-2. And she'll get it right back. Forward. And that shot is offline from Cipriano. She'll almost win it back, but it'll go out of bounds and be a Jumbo's ball.
And Knapp, the junior, leading a pretty young team on the court right now. 2 sophomores, 2 freshmen with Jackie Knapp, the junior.
This is a Jumbos team, though, that under Carla Berube has done a great job of rooting in its younger players, so they're ready to make these sort of contributions, both early on and when they ascend to the starting lineups in their sophomore, junior, or senior year.
Absolutely, and in a game like basketball, when you have a deep team, that just makes you that much better. When your starters get tired and winded in the fourth quarter, when the game's tight, it's really nice to be able to have those fresh legs when you need them.
Yeah, at this pace, they might get winded by the third quarter, Bridget. Jack Knapp. That's intercepted by Fox. She plays it forward and to the basket, and in is Alicia Fox. Excuse me, the pass came from Delphons. And we'll see a timeout called here. That'll be the Jumbos' first timeout. The deficit is now 22. 3 minutes to go in the first half. And it's still a little better here. The Saints are actually leading points in this quarter, 14-12. I'm going to take a moment to talk about, we're going to take a moment to talk about mascots, Bridget, because I want to talk about the Saints mascots to set me up for a line if I want to make it later in the game. The Emmanuel Saints are not represented in terms of mascots by St. Francis of Assisi or one of his fellow canonized gentlemen or gentlewomen. Instead, they're represented by a St. Bernard with a halo, and it's one of my favorite mascot designs that I've ever seen, I think.
I have to say, it's pretty amazing. It's a close second to a Jumbo.
No bias there. And with that little diversion, or tangent, excuse me, on the Emmanuel College Saints or St. Bernards, or whichever way they want it, we're back to some basketball. Here's Briggs, or excuse me, that was Harrington. And a misplay there from Jack Knapp. Couldn't come down with that ball. And it'll be a ball to throw in for Ryan Maynard.
And Coach Berube with that timeout probably talked a little bit to her team about stopping those counterattacks from the Saints, who have had some success with that in the past few minutes of the game.
That'll be a foul called there. That's going to be against number 22, Briggs. Emily Briggs, the freshman guard from Canton, Connecticut. She's actually averaging 8.1 points off the bench. It's good for fourth on the team without even starting the game. Kickball there called against the Jumbos. DiCandido was the one who brought a little soccer into the action. It'll be another inbound for Caitlin Armstrong. She'll play that short out to Cipriano and then take the long three. Ball comes back with the Jumbos now, and it's DiCandido. She gives it over to Harrington. Harrington to the basket. It hits the underside of the backboard. Nothing going there for the sophomore. Dinked forward for Alicia Fox. Guarded by two, and a steal there for Emily Briggs.
And we can already see the Jumbos making an adjustment out of that timeout, getting back for those counterattacks so that the Saints have a little bit of a more difficult time converting those points.
Jack Knapp. Briggs. And here's Knapp again. She's guarded by Cipriano. Martinson now right under the basket. That one will just miss as the shot clock ticked down to about 2. And the ball's back with Caitlin Armstrong. Maynard now to the basket. Wasn't the most convincing shot and didn't lead to 2 points. Candido a little stranded now, but the Jumbos get it forward to a wide open Harrington. She gets it over to an equally open Briggs, and Briggs gets it open or over to the open basket. 2 points. Jumbos hit the 40-point mark in the first half. Solid offensive output from them so far, and they're looking to continue that here, but first have to deal with the ball and Alicia Fox. Little nice poke by Kaylin Harrington there. Good defense from the sophomore. Another one for her, but it sticks with it. Delphons gets it out to Fox. Fox for 3 offline. Knapp. Here's DiCandido, 3-on-1 now, and it's Briggs. DiCandido with the rebound, and that'll be a travel there and up and down from Kaylin Harrington, who wasn't expecting the block and couldn't get her shot off as a result. See a bunch of changes here for both times. Ramirez Tejeda re-enters this game, as does Madison McLaughlin. Coming off is Maynard, and Olivia Delphons also coming into this game is number 32. That's Christine Miller, coming on for Caitlin Cipriano. Jumbo's also made some changes there. Coming in Gina Doyle, number 25 for her first action of the game, the senior from Massachusetts. Meantime, here's Madison McLaughlin. Weaver gives it over. Madison McLaughlin. And that'll bounce off the backboard harmlessly. Collected by Briggs, who's had a really nice second quarter here for the Jumbos. Jack Knapp now. 18 seconds left in the quarter. Shot clock is off. Knapp nicely guarded, but still with it. She's going to pass it out wide. Gina Doyle now. 6 seconds. Airballs it. And we're going to see a foul there. Looks like it's going to be a possession foul against the Saints, so the Jumbos will stick with it. 2.2 seconds left in the first half. Score is 40-16. Knapp to take this inbounds. Loops it up to the basket, and a nice buzzer-beating point for Katie Martinson. A little right before the buzzer to be technical, but she'll take it. Another 2 points for the Jumbos right as time expires, and this half ends with the Jumbos at 42 points and the Emmanuel Saints at 16. So 14 points, a good output for the Saints given their first quarter woes, only scoring 2. But we end the first half with a lopsided score of 42-16. Bridget Bell, Charlie Driver. We'll be back in a few minutes. And welcome back to Cousins Gymnasium. Charlie Driver here with Bridget Bell in what is shaping up to be a Tufts women's basketball blowout on a Monday evening. 42-16 at half. The Jumbos raced out to a massive 26-2 lead at the end of the first quarter. The Saints have done a little better in the second, getting it back, but still outscored by 2 points. So the lead is currently at, if I do my math correctly, 26 points for the Jumbos. And we're about to get underway with the second half. Bridget, you expecting more of the same?
Well, I haven't really seen too much adjustment coming from the Saints, and even when they do make adjustments, the Jumbos have done a great job of readjusting to the adjustments that the Saints have made. They started stopping the counterattacks that the Saints had found success in at the end of that second quarter. So if the Jumbos continue to make those adjustments against the Saints, then I think that this trend will continue throughout the rest of the game.
But what we say doesn't matter as much as what the five people on each side of the court do.
Absolutely, and we'll see if the Jumbos can continue to do what they've been doing so well tonight.
Emmanuel's going to start with the ball as Ramirez Tejeda plays it out to Kayla Weaver. Weaver guarded by Lauren Dillon. Plays it forward to Maynard. And Maynard's shot just offline. Unfortunate there for that not to go, and it'll end up with a Jumbo's ball after an offensive foul. Erica DiCandido here. DiCandido 9 points, tied for the lead with Melissa Baptista for the first half for the Jumbos. Mucciaroni also on the court after a strong first half has 7, tied for third. Standing alone at third in this Jumbos lineup on scoring. But here's DiCandido now. Gives it over to Mucciaroni. Mucciaroni guarded by Madison McLaughlin, who kindly gives a tap and allows her to proceed. And that ball gets away from Jack Knapp, and it'll be a Saints ball.
And the Saints looking like they're coming out a little bit stronger on defense, tracking their players a little bit better, making the Tufts Jumbos jobs a little bit harder here on offense.
Here's Kayla Weaver. McLaughlin. Now with Maynard. Saints looking for a breakthrough. Shot clock at 10 now. Madison McLaughlin. And her long two misses. But it's recovered by McCarthy and then given away again by the Saints. Forward to DiCandido. DiCandido guarded by 2 Saints now. Baptista. Dillon. Mucciaroni from 3. Nothing but net. Jenny Mucciaroni. She's up to 10 points now.
And a great layoff by Lauren Dillon to find Mucciaroni for that open 3. Give her a lot of time to set up for that.
Nice defense there from Baptista as Weaver loses the ball. And that'll be a foul against Baptista, so positive and then negative from the senior. And it'll be an inbound to be taken by Madison McLaughlin.
It's Baptista's second foul of the game.
She'll give that one out to Weaver. No one in particular amounts of foul trouble. It was a very open and free-flowing game, save for a few jump balls as McCarthy's shot caroms off the bottom of the backboard. Jenny Mucciaroni now with the ball. Plays it forward and bounces around a little and off of Ramirez Tejeda last. It'll be in the Jumbo's possession still.
I'm not going to lie. I couldn't keep track of that ball. Glad the refs could.
A little bit of pinball on the basketball court there. But Lauren Dillon slows it down and gets it out to Melissa Baptista, guarded by McCarthy, goes around her, and she's fouled, so she'll go to the line for 2 after missing the shot. Impressive that she even got the shot off, mind you. McCarthy was very much up in her face.
Foul's called on Emmanuel's number 43. That's Mary McCarthy, her second.
Second foul for McCarthy.
Team second.
The junior from Scituate, Massachusetts. Went to Williston Northampton High School. 6.1 points per game. Baptista drains the first free throw.
Number 33, Melissa Baptista.
She's shooting 71% from the line this season.
2 from 2 there. 47-16 now for the Jumbos. Still looking for their first points of the quarter are the Emmanuel Saints. And Yosanov. It's a little on edge on the touchline. Madison McLaughlin. Now Mary McCarthy trying to ease his tension as Ramirez Tejeda goes a little airborne. That's going to be a foul against the Jumbos. And another foul. It's a push there. We'll wait to see. It looks like it'll be against Erica DiCandido.
Number 44, Erica DiCandido.
And it is. It's her first foul. Second team foul. 2 for each team so far. Under 3 minutes in.
Charlie, like you said, both teams have done a very good job of playing a pretty clean match game.
Nice by Erica DiCandido there for 2 points off of the Jackie Knapp steal. And there, Jenny Mucciaroni reaching in and tipping that one out of bounds. See a substitution. Alicia Fox is going to replace Mary McCarthy.
Number 2, Alicia Fox. Replace number 43, McCarthy.
Ball's back in play now. Driving. And fouled is Maynard. She'll go to the line for 2.
Fouls called on Tufts number 33, Melissa Baptista.
Baptista's third.
Team third. At the line for Emmanuel number 3, Ryan Maynard.
They're getting a little nervier for Baptista now, but Jumbos are in a position where if they want to rest her, and Berube might, they can just sit her down.
And it looks like Briggs just came to.
There you go. Melissa Baptista coming out to be replaced by Emily Briggs. Meanwhile, we'll see a second free throw to be taken by Ryan Maynard. She's averaging 100% from the free throw line. Continued that with that last one. And she drains 2 there, continuing her perfect season from the line. Jumbos, meanwhile, trying to continue their perfect season on the court as a whole season. Up to 8-0, trying to make it 9-0 here. Lauren Dillon looking to have a say in that. Under the basket now, guarded by 2. That gets it out to Briggs. Briggs driving. And her hooked shot can't go, but it's recovered by Jack Knapp, who gets the steal and the layup.
That just kind of shows the tenacity of Jackie Knapp and the Jumbos. Never giving up on a ball.
Alicia Fox didn't give up on that one, but it went out of bounds. Jumbo's ball. Mucciaroni to take. See a substitution here now. Weaver coming out. In comes Olivia Delphons. Excuse me. Weaver is actually going to stay on the court, and Madison McLaughlin is going to exit this game.
Number 23, Madison McLaughlin.
It's an inbound from Lauren Dillon. Dillon gives it off to Briggs now. It's with Mucciaroni. Played for DiCandido in space. And her shot can't go, and recovered by Ramirez Tejeda, who keeps her balance nicely to get it out to Weaver. Played up to Maynard now. Jumbos get numbers back. 20 seconds on the shot clock, Ramirez Tejeda. She's driving against DiCandido, and it's a steal for Erica DiCandido there, the sophomore. Nice play from her. Now it's with Jenny Mucciaroni behind the back. Takes the shot, and she'll get it to go. A beautiful play from Jenny Mucciaroni.
That was fun to watch, Jenny Mucciaroni pulling out those handles.
Maynard. And here's Alicia Fox. Let's see what she has in her back pocket. She has a pass to Ramirez Tejeda, guarded by 2, goes for the shot. It's too hard. Really good defense there from the Jumbos, getting 2 on the best player on this Emmanuel Saints side of the court. As Briggs, mid-ranger, is off the mark. Ramirez Tejeda collects. She's averaging 7.5 rebounds per game. That easily leads her team. That's with Olivia Delphons. We're going to see a double substitution for the Jumbos in a moment. Meanwhile, Delphons' shot is off the mark. Poor shooting again, plaguing this Saints team halfway through the first quarter of the second half, the third quarter overall, and they're yet to score a point.
Briggs missing that shot. Short jumper off this side.
Excuse me, they have actually scored 2 points in this quarter. Apologies to Andy Yosinoff and co. But looking to avoid a repeat of what happened at the beginning of the first half, as we'll see a little elbow or charge there. That'll be against Briggs, I believe.
Fouls called on Tufts number 22. That's Emily Briggs for second.
Triple substitution. 2 for the Jumbos. Coming in is Harrington and Martinson. Meanwhile, Maynard exits the game to be replaced by Cipriano. Coming up for the Jumbos is Mucciaroni and DiCandido. Back to the game, Alicia Fox now. Not sure, looks like a foul called there against Lauren Dillon off the ball.
Number 22, that's Emily Briggs.
Excuse me, Emily Briggs' third foul there. I'm not sure what that was for, but Ramirez Tejeda will go to the line. She's got 2 points so far tonight, averaging 16.4 for the season. She misses that first one. Her second is better, though. It's a 1 of 2 for Ramirez Tejeda, and almost an interception there for Kayla Weaver. Can't get to the ball. Also in the process, knocks over a recycling bin. Like to be green here at Tufts University.
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure Tufts is actually going waste list by 2020. Is that correct?
We'll see. We'll see how that works out. Lauren Dillon from 3, too far. How would that work? They would replace everything that's with like some that's biodegradable.
I believe
by
so.
Nap. Lauren Dillon now shoots that one. I think there's an effort to make some stuff biodegradable, but if on my trip to Hodgdon, which is our sort of takeout restaurant, as this ball's with Jack Knapp, I had a plastic plate for my stir fry, which I threw out. So not wasteless yet, at the very least. Lauren Dillon.
Perhaps. But they also have these days, they have these fancy, like, cornstarch plastics.
That's true.
Maybe the Jumbo administration is moving towards that.
Martinson there with 2. A nice point, set of points for her. Back with the Saints. 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. Big thing, the new Tufts building, the Science and Engineering Complex, was constructed to be especially green, I believe. It's got really nice natural light as well. Very nice place to work. If anyone's in the area and wants somewhere to cram for finals.
As we launch ourselves into reading period, as you mentioned earlier, Charlie, today was the last day of classes here on the Medford campus at Tufts University.
And here we are, JumboCast, a collection of students escaping their obligations, bringing you an exciting blowout game of basketball. That this timeout taken by Andy Yosinoff and the Emmanuel Saints is at 55-19. 3 points down for the Saints in this quarter, which is not exactly where they want to be. Jumbos, meanwhile, have managed to pick up a total of 13 here for a 13-3 run to open the quarter. And the gap is only widening now. It's at 36 points, the lead. And it's looking more in doubt that the Saints can pull off some sort of divine intervention fueled comeback here. We'll wait and see.
Absolutely, and we've seen the Saints try to make a couple adjustments. The Jumbos have adjusted back well and have continued to put pressure on the Saints' defense. And they've been doing a very good job of getting behind the Saints into the paint, as well as finding room out around that three-point line.
Especially something to highlight is the offensive rebounds for the Jumbos, and rebounds in general. Jumbos have 30 rebounds to 17 for the Saints. Only 5 offensive rebounds for the Saints, though 13 for the Jumbos. In terms of second chance points, the Jumbos have scored 14, and the Saints have scored none. So that's 14 points of the lead out of the way. If the Saints had just improved their defense after getting that initial miss. But here we are, 36 points up in favor of the Jumbos here, and Lauren Dillon passing it to Katie Martinson to try and extend that. Instead, the ball is with number 23, shoots and scores from 3. That's Lily Parrow.
And the bench just went wild because sophomore Lily Parrow is just coming back from an ACL injury that she experienced last year, as well as, I believe, a dislocated shoulder that she had earlier this year. So the bench is pretty stoked for that sophomore to see the court for, if not the first time, one of the first times in her Tufts career.
And that shot goes for Cipriano there for the Saints.
Miller for 2.
So Lauren Dillon once again. Here's Parrow there. Tufts no stranger to ACL injuries. Finney Pace went down with a torn ACL his sophomore season. Back 2.5 years ago now. And it's played forward for Cipriano. Cipriano gives it out to number 11. That's Dalphonse. Back with Olivia Dalphonse. Played up. Cipriano guarded by 2. Tipped off of the fingers of Paro, off of the fingers of D'Alphonse after that, and out of play for Jumbo's ball. We'll see the substitution for the Jumbos in a moment. Here it is now. It's number 30. That's Angela Alabrandi, the freshman forward, coming into the game. She'll replace Emily Briggs. Alabrandi, the freshman from Westford, Massachusetts. Jumbo's getting in a little more of the inexperience here with a more than comfortable lead of 37 points. Lauren Dillon driving. Gives it over. Harrington plays it to Martinson, who shoots an off target there. Second chance point, unable to convert, is Alabrandi. And it'll be a foul called against the Emmanuel Saints. That foul's on number 33 by the looks of it. 33 is Caitlin Cipriano, the sophomore from Waterbury, Connecticut. Jack Knapp re-entering the game.
Foul's called on Emmanuel's number 32, that's Christine Miller.
Waterbury, Connecticut, notable for its construction on the highway. If you ever take Interstate 80, Bridget, through Waterbury, Connecticut, anytime over the last decade, you'll notice that there's a heavy amount of construction right around a Turkish restaurant in the outskirts of town.
I could not say that I have been on that part of Highway 80 ever, actually.
It's a time. Nice restaurants around there, though, so it's a good place to stop. Here's Lily Paro. She's going to stop the offensive there and take a shot, and it's off the mark. Katie Martinson collects the offensive rebound, another offensive rebound for the Jumbos. Got some nice pizza there on the way back up after Thanksgiving.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good time.
It was definitely a good time. The traffic was not. Let's see if that three's a good time, and it is. Having some fun on the court is Kaylin Harrington. She drains that three.
And the Jumbos outing a young 5 right now. We have 2 sophomores and 2 freshmen on the court, led by Jack Knapp.
Yeah, Jack Knapp, the lone junior there, the one starter still on the court for the Jumbos at this point. She has 8 points. Katie Martinson, nice contribution off the bench with 6, though, as Caitlin Cipriano has been fouled. Katie Martinson was the guilty party. Cipriano makes the first free throw. Substitution, Harrington entering the game for Weaver. Harrington plays it out off the hands of Cipriano and out of bounds.
And the first offensive rebound for the Saints here in this game. They didn't end up converting, but did get the rebound.
And here is Kaylin Harrington. Full court press from the Saints, but Jack Knapp gets the ball and is able to deal with that press. 1 minute left in the third quarter here at Cousins Gymnasium. Katie Martinson from 3, drains it. Another 3 points for her. She's up to 9, and the Jumbos are up to 64 points. 46 seconds left now. Here is Olivia D'Alphonse. Plays it over to Cipriano. Back to D'Alphonse. D'Alphonse gives it out. Cipriano. And the shot there is off the mark from number 25, Caitlin Armstrong.
Looks like that'll be a foul.
Alabrandi with the foul, the freshman. It's her first personal of the game. It's Tufts' 4th of the quarter. And making it is Armstrong. Cipriano exits to be replaced by McCarthy. And the second from Caitlin Armstrong. That one's short. You can see it out of the hand there. Unfortunate for her. And more fortunately, the rebound comes down, if you're a Jumbos fan, with number 10, Kaylin Harrington. Now with Jack Knapp, guarded by Olivia D'Alphonse. 64-23, 14 seconds left in the third quarter. No shot clock. Martinson, she's had a nice touch from 3, but she'll give it back to Knapp. 7 seconds now remaining. 6. Down under 4. Close to the basket and out of bounds now. And the clock stops at 1 second. Saw a buzzer beater from the Jumbos on the other side of this quarter. We'll see if the Saints are able to do anything with it. They get it out, and that shot is well short from number 32, Christine Miller. And at the end of the third quarter here in Cousins Gymnasium, it's Tufts 64 and the Emmanuel Saints 23. Jumbos outscored the Saints 22-7 in this quarter, and Bridget, it's now a 41-point lead.
Indeed it is, and the Jumbos, like we've been saying all game, have been doing a good job of executing. The Saints, on the other hand, have struggled with finding points, finding their offensive rhythm, and the Jumbos have been doing a really diligent job of stopping any sort of runs or adjustments that the Saints make. So it has been a rough go for the Saints and a job well done by the Jumbos in the first three quarters.
Yeah, the Jumbos' performance is similarly oppressive to the heavy metal music that is currently blaring through the speakers at Cousins Gymnasium. So we get the clock set up for the final 10 minutes of regulation here, barring any unexpected overtimes. Jumbos still waiting to take the court as Carla Barubi gives some final words of advice. Jumbo's coaching staff, you'll probably see them in a moment once we get the game cam back out and get back underway, but they've seemed to have color-coded in reverence to another Tufts student organization, this time the Tufts Beelzebubs. A lot of reds and grays there on the bench, Bridget, and that's the Bubs' calling card, the a cappella group, into their 50-something year now.
Indeed it is, and we actually just saw the Beelzebubs perform. They performed at the tap recital that was just this Sunday night, so just last night, and they're a fun group to watch.
Yeah, I went to their fall concert. They did a good job. I was meaning to go to the tap show as well, but finals intervened. Finals not intervening for these athletes, though. They have no other choice. Katie Martinson now, they'll get out to perhaps late night study after this one.
Absolutely, and this is their last game for the next couple of weeks. They
head out to California, actually, after this, as that ball is taken away by Christine Miller. It's now in the hands of D'Alphonse, plays it forward. Harrington now. Harrington, mid-range, that's blocked by Martinson, but the block came onto the arm, not onto the ball.
And I believe, Charlie, the men's team as well heads out to California after their very abbreviated holiday break.
Yeah, the Jumbos, the women's team are going to face Albright. That's Friday on the 29th of December. That's 6 p.m. So if anyone's in, that's first at Montclair, New Jersey. So they get to stay here for the new year as Harrington shot. Second free throw goes through, 64-25. They're going to be in Montclair, New Jersey to face Albright and the winner of Montclair State and DeSales the 29th and the 30th of December. Then in January, they play Colby and Bowdoin in NESCAC play. At some point, they do go to California, though, I think. Or maybe it's just the men's team. Maybe it's a little less exciting in a trip to Montclair, New Jersey for the women's team. Unfortunate for them, as that shot, as the shot clock was down at 8, is wayward from Kaylin Harrington. At least I wasn't talking to a women's basketball player because I would have gotten excited over nothing.
Indeed.
As McCarthy loses out on that one. Harrington to the basket. And she's fouled by Mary McCarthy. Nice play by Harrington there. Taking some hard contact. And if there's any consolation to this women's basketball team, the way the last seasons have gone and the way this game is going, we might be taking a trip out again for some NCAA action come the spring.
Absolutely, and I think that this team definitely has the potential to do so. They're pretty young, but they have some really powerful leaders out on the court.
As Harrington's free throw is off the mark, in comes Baptista, and number 24 for the Jumbos. That's Katie Butler. We're seeing her, the banger from Maine, freshman for the first time. Also getting ready to come in is Erin Poindexter McCann. The Jumbos, she'll also be her first action of the game.
It looks like the Jumbos are getting most of their young players in who don't have too much experience.
It's a good time to get them used to it as any 40-point lead right now. Yeah, Erica Poindexter McCann has come in now to replace Kaylin Harrington. And now with the ball is number 2. That's Alicia Fox, the senior. Passes it over Jack Knapp's head, but to no one in particular. Baptista now guarded by Harrington. Under the basket, plays it out. 3! Off the mark by Lily Parrow. Excuse me, I believe that was Point Dexter McCann on that 3 attempt. And that's into the basket. Nice play there by Caitlin Armstrong, freshman from Boyertown, Pennsylvania. Getting a little experience on both sides now. As Jack Knapp, she's played the most minutes by far for the Jumbos in this game, spelling Lauren Dillon. Gina Doyle plays it out to Knapp, tries a little behind the back action there and gets fouled in doing so.
Fouls called on Emmanuel number 43, Mary McCarthy. That is her 3rd personal, team 2nd. At the line for Tufts, number 3, Jack Knapp.
Knapp will shoot from the line, averaging 9.5 points per game here. She's just about reached that. 84.6 from the line here. That's her 9th point there, so right up with her average. She'll shoot a second. Lauren Dillon's about to come back into this game. Maybe it's to replace Knapp. Who knows? We'll find out. Another reason to stick with JumboCast here is our continuing mystery as Jack Knapp drains the second one. And yes, Lauren Dillon replaces her. 7 minutes 49 left to play here.
The cool thing about this Jumbo team is that they are so deep and that, you know, any combination of 5 players steps on the court, they're expected to do the job just as well as the starters would do. And that's really one of the signs of a good, deep team, is being able to have the confidence to take care of any team regardless of which players are on the court.
Fox misses that one while falling over. Lauren Dillon winds up with the ball. And that's intercepted by Armstrong. We'll see a jump ball here. Looks like it's going to stay with the Saints, though. Armstrong had a pretty firm grip on that. And it does stay with the Saints. Alicia Fox now stepping in. Tufts University President Tony Monaco in attendance. Seeing a romp of a game for the Jumbo's women's basketball team here. Manigan play tomorrow. We'll have that game at 7 p.m. For some Tuesday night action, a more traditional slate of games for the Jumbos there. As that one sails over Lauren Dillon and the leaping Alicia Fox. And Saints possession.
And that's kind of one of the cool things about going to a small school like Tufts. You get to see your university president at the athletic events. He's just hanging out.
He's easy to pick out, too, wearing his patented vest and button down.
Absolutely.
Tony Monaco loves his Tufts sports. He was actually the first one to, Ramirez Tejada airballs that one. He was the first one to really give us any hint, at JumboCast at least, that we were switching to a 9-game football schedule. Told us that he was working on it the season, like last season. And it came to fruition here, and we were able to carry 5 games for you. So we're going to see a substitution. Madison McLaughlin replacing Mary McCarthy. 6 minutes, 34 seconds, 67-27 to the Tufts Jumbos. Charlie Driver, Bridget Bell here. Happy to join you at the beginning, or I guess depending on who you ask, midway point of the holiday season. It's the final point of the semester, though, last game.
Absolutely, and we're all gearing up for finals.
Oh, I'm way past that point, Bridget, as Alicia Fox makes a nice interception. Lauren Dillon gets called subsequently for the foul.
It's true. You can tell it's final season because half of Tufts students are sick. Half of us are sleep deprived. Half of us are
Fox
both.
To the basket for 2, and she'll shoot for another. Everyone's dying one way or another, whether it's of stress or illness or both. Triple substitution for the Jumbos. Dillon, Baptista, and Doyle coming off of the court. Mucciaroni checking back into the game. Also coming back in is Katie Martinson and Katie Butler, number 24 for the Jumbos. Fox to take this free throw now. Can't cut the deficit to 37, though, but Ramirez Tejada comes down with it, hooks it in, and that's 2 points for her. So second chance point there for the Saints. That's a rare one. Another full court press, works out. Armstrong gets it to Fox. Fox for 2. That's more like it from the Saints.
Absolutely. Now they're playing with a little bit of more of a sense of an urgency than they have been in the past quarter.
Here's Lily Parrow. She gives it out. And a little too heavy for Katie Butler. Played forward. And Madison McLaughlin to the basket. Timeout taken.
And that's a strategic timeout from Carla Berube. She's looking to cool the jets, as if you will, of the Saints, who have gone on a little bit of a point run. Nothing too worrisome for the Jumbos, who are up with a heavy 32-point lead.
There you go.
If I'm correct. Not the math major here, but
as long as the Tufts number stays above the number for the Saints, I'm fine. But once I have to start carrying numbers, then my basic grasp of math is not going to help me.
Very true.
I can tell you all you need to know about localism in United States politics, Bridget, but if you ask me to do complex math, it's not going to work out well for you.
I'm right there with you.
About half of the quarter gone now. In terms of your scoring this quarter, Emmanuel has outscored Tufts 12-3. Perhaps coming a little too late in the day, though. Scorers, Alicia Fox off the bench leading the Saints in scoring with 8 points. 5 points for Yuleska Ramirez Tejada. For the Jumbos, Jenny Mucciaroni with 12. Melissa Baptista with 11. Also with 11 is Erica DiCandido and Jack Knapp with 10. So 4 of the starting 5 there for the Jumbos doing very well. Lauren Dillon, as she is wont to do, leading the Jumbos in assists with 5, but only scored 1 point so far. But she won't necessarily mind with that. Jumbos are walking away with a win right now, up 32. We're going to try and distance it even further here. Taking this inbound for the Jumbos is number 30, Angela Albrandi. She gets that one out to Jack Knapp. Knapp guarded by 2. Heavy full court press, and Knapp will be fouled.
As you can see, the Saints coming out with a little bit of fire here in the last 5.5 minutes of the game. Trying to get something started. Perhaps, as Charlie already said, a little bit too late.
Yeah, they might need a little brimstone, too, if they're going to have a great awakening and come back into this game. And we'll have another timeout. This one looks to be taken by Carla Berube. Slowing down the game a little, because I think in response to that drastic change of strategy from the Saints there, that was the heaviest full court press that they've done all game.
Absolutely, Charlie, and it's an interesting strategy. You're seeing a lot of energy coming from the Saints, perhaps because they feel as if the momentum is shifting in their favor for arguably the first time this game, maybe a little bit at the end of that second half, or the first half.
Yeah, the Saints are up to 35 points now, which is a respectable total and much better than the music playing over the PA right now, which is Closer by the Chainsmokers, which I believe is a horrible, horrible song. And we should have moved on after last summer, but that's just me. Back to the game now. Number 23, Lily Parrow. Let's take this pass. She finds her way up to Katie Butler. Butler finds a wide open Erin Poindexter McCann, and McCann gets it in for 2 points for the Jumbos.
Erin Poindexter McCann for 2.
And I believe that may be McCann's first basket of the year.
Fox can't get that one to go. Recovered by Harrington, but she's got called for a travel there, and it'll go back to the Jumbos. Bridget, our local statistician. We do everything here at JumboCast. Albrandi gives it to Knapp. Full court press preserved. 4 players in the front court here.
And Jackie Knapp being double teamed, having a hard time finding.
And that'll be a 5-second violation for the Jumbos. Emmanuel Saints' plan works wonders there as Jack Knapp, not the tallest player on the court, unable to get that pass off, and it'll go back to the Saints now. Saints evidently believe they have a chance to overcome this 34-point deficit here. That's a foul called on number 21 for the Jumbos. That's Aaron Poindexter McCann, freshman guard from Los Altos Hills, California.
She's actually roommates with one of the freshmen on the volleyball team. And we have a running joke on the volleyball team that her roommate will secretly join the basketball team as she is a regular participant in basketball social events.
Fox can't get that one to go. We'll see what I'm saying when I'm covering volleyball next semester, or next fall, excuse me, as that one is off the mark from 3 by Lily Parrow. Played forward, Ramirez Tejeda for 2. That's played up now in the hands of Lily Parrow. She plays that over to Katie Butler.
And Ramirez Tejeda has been relatively quiet this entire game, as has the entire Saints offense, but Ramirez Tejeda scoring a career high in her last outing, so a little bit of a disappointing result for her this game.
Shot from McCann. No good. Poindexter McCann can't get that one to go. Don't know if you could see Andy Yosinoff in your picture, but he was absolutely livid during that last possession. Evidently, McLaughlin, she misses that one. Yosinoff is seeing something that he doesn't like from his team. Even though they've been vastly improved in this quarter, still outscoring the Jumbos in this one by 12-5 now. And Poindexter McCann now makes a move on McLaughlin, runs out of space, gets it for a mid-range jumper, and that's a little long there. Looked like taking that shot was number 30, Angela Alibrandi. Fox plays it up. Ramirez Tejeda. Can't get that one to go. Second chance, no good, but she's fouled by Amanda Towie. Freshman from Bethel, Connecticut, also getting some game action here. Excuse me, Alibrandi doing the foul in there. 2 minutes 56 left in this game. 32-point deficit for the Saints. That averages out to about 10 points a minute. A little more so than that. There's one of this minute's 10 from Ramirez Tejeda from the line.
And she's throwing just under 60% from the line this year.
Looking to improve that here. Deep squat into the shot, and 2 for 2, but looks like an infraction there. Not sure what happened. Feet might have come up or something, but that one won't count. 1 for 2, Ramirez Tejeda. Jumbo's back with the ball now. Alibrandi plays it forward to Poindexter McCann.
And Ramirez Tejeda kind of showing off her hops there. Perhaps that's why she took the tip off instead of their 6'3" Mary McCarthy at the beginning of this game.
That was 23-24. Parrow to Butler for 2. It gets the Jumbos up to 71. Alicia Fox now with the ball, trying to get the Saints up to their 40-point watermark. Or water line, I should say. Ramirez Tejeda to the basket to 40. And she's on a mini tear here, but it might be too little too late for the Saints. From 3, off the mark, Lily Parrow. And that one off the mark again from Katie Butler. 3rd time's the charm, not for the Jumbos, but we'll see what 2 shots from the line can do for Angela Alibrandi. That foul was on Harrington. Excuse me, Ty Morrison. Ramirez Tejeda up to 10 points. Meanwhile, Angela Alibrandi now up to 1. Doyle re-enters this game. She'll replace Poindexter McCann. Meanwhile, Weaver replacing McLaughlin. Here comes Alibrandi. She'll make that one. Or excuse me, off the line there. Hold it a little too early. Jack Knapp with the ball. Clock ticking under 2 now. Minute 59 to go. Jack Knapp, 20 seconds on the shot clock. A few little handoffs now. And the shot, points Dexter McCann. Can't get that one to go. Excuse me, that was Paro missing. Jack Knapp.
The Jumbos are in no hurry right now. They have plenty of time to set up their plays and execute.
It's like a practice game in a way. Here's Butler. Can't get that one to go, but it comes off Morrison last. Excuse me, that actually ended up coming off of Alibrandi last. And so it'll be a Saints ball. Minute 28 now, 32-point lead for the Tufts Jumbos. Jumbos are going to advance to 9-0 in this game, barring something miraculous. If any team is going to come up with something miraculous, it should be the Saints, but we'll see how this next minute and a half goes. Driving, shooting, and off the line is Armstrong. Almost a jump ball, but it ends up going out of bounds for a Saints ball. Jumbos are going to improve to 9-0 right at the beginning of conference play. There are 2 more games, that Montclair State competition, the Gilston Pascourt Holiday Tournament. As Weaver's a little too heavy on that one, and it'll be a Jumbos ball, a foul on Ty Morrison. The Jumbos then open their conference play in January, 5th and 6th at Colby and then at Bowdoin. A little lonely, perhaps. Everyone's going to be, all these basketball teams are going to be here while everyone else is gone, Bridget. Do you have an early off-season or preseason, I should say, for volleyball?
We have a very short preseason for volleyball. We come back a week before we start school, so we come back with all the freshmen.
Oh, so it's not completely desolate.
It isn't, which is actually pretty nice. I think it would be a little weird if we were walking around without anyone there.
Katie Butler gets that one to go. I mean, that's what it's going to be like for some of these basketball players when they're playing home games. Away games. That's a long two from Maynard that goes. Under a minute now, 73-42.
Yeah, so the men's and women's basketball team as well as the hockey team. So basically...
And under from Madison McLaughlin, but she's fouled.
All of the winter sports have an abbreviated winter break, and they come back early. So all of the underclassmen who are living on campus live in South. So that's the only dorm that stays open over winter break.
That one doesn't go.
For the athletes.
It's a good athletes community at Tufts, so everyone seems to get along I assume to a point, but that's true of any community. You would know better than I would.
Absolutely. The athlete community here at Tufts is very close, tight-knit. We like to support each other. We have brother and sister teams, so I'm not sure.
And that one's good from Morrison from 3.
Not sure who the women's basketball.
I think it might be the men's soccer team.
Sounds right, actually.
I'm just going off of the bleached hair of one of the towel boys, and that's trademark Tufts men's soccer. That was their postseason ritual this year as they got eliminated in the Elite 8 by the Brandeis University judges.
That was a heartbreaker.
They ended up losing that game in a golden goal in overtime.
Indeed, and the Tufts men's soccer team won a national championship last year, so anything would be disappointing other than another national championship for that team.
And a foul called there against the Saints. Alibrandi goes to the line. That was a foul by Kayla Weaver.
Number 30, Angela Alibrandi.
Alibrandi to take these 2 free throws. 35.8 seconds remaining in this game. 28-point lead for the Jumbos. Now it's 29. Going to try and get it up to 30 here is Alibrandi. This is a game, if you're just joining us, or if you joined us recently in this half, the Jumbos jumped out to a 26-2 lead and have not looked back. They've led from the beginning here in Cousins Gymnasium. It's not really been much of a contest at all. Saints are a good team, but the Jumbos have outclassed and outplayed them here. Weaver driving. That one's not going to go, and coming down with it is Gina Doyle. Getting away with it is Knapp. 17 seconds left to go in the game. No shot clock, and she's fouled by the Saints. Ramirez Tejada diving in for that foul. 15.6 seconds to go.
And you got to give credit to the Saints. They have not given up at all. They've been playing really aggressive, full press defense this entire quarter, and they have not stopped even with the mere 15 seconds left on the clock and a full 30-point lead for the Jumbos.
And that one's good for Knapp. Another point for her. Having a good day, over the 10-point mark already. 76-45. And Knapp gets that one to go as well. 14 seconds left. Weaver. Off the mark. Ramirez Tejada rebounds. Can't get that one to go. She'll get a third shot, and that's also no good. And another foul. And just when you thought this game was over, with 2.7 seconds to go, it keeps going, and going to the line now is Ramirez Tejada. A 32-point lead. She'll try and shave this one to 30 as we prepare to call it a night.
And Ramirez Tejada has played with a lot of heart tonight. She has really been a leader on that court.
It's not really going to come to anything, though, unfortunately. She missed the first one. Makes the second one. 2.7 seconds left in this game. 0 seconds left in this game. The Tufts University Jumbos have defeated the Emmanuel Saints by a score of 77-46 in a game that was fairly, one could call it no contest, Bridget. And so the Jumbos are going to go home happy, and they get a few weeks off before they come back at the end of the calendar year for some more games and a start of conference play. I'm Charlie Driver here with Bridget Bell. JumboCast will be back with a men's basketball game tomorrow. I'll be back in the fall after I get back from Paris, and we'll see you next time.